Well, good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Trust that you are well today. One of the most important things about what we've been able to do in the 21st century is that, or important or impotent, one of the two things, or impudent, how about that word too, that we've been able to do in the 21st century is the ascendancy of the independent journalist, of the citizen journalist. And I think it's extremely important to the mix. I am not of the mind at this point where we just throw one thing away and keep this thing. We have a tendency, like my pastor says, to be in one ditch or the other. But I think now it's a conglomeration of things, a mixture of things, a soup, if you will, of things that we have to consider well, considering world events. Yesterday, the world media was up in arms because the Hamas medical ministry had announced that a hospital had been bombed by the Israelis. Uh-huh. It's funny. I woke to that, and I was on X.com, and I saw that there was actually a video that shows when the rocket was launched, and it shows the rocket exploding, and a large part of it fell, and sadly fell on the hospital. Apparently, 500 or so people were killed, and it's awful, terrible. And so it wasn't but a few hours before Hamas was saying that it was the Israelis that bombed this hospital. And then you see the New York Times, the AP, the French news, CNN, MSNBC, you name them, CBS, NBC, all going with that piece of misinformation. Okay, misinformation is sort of a word that we've used to sort of coddle it and not say what it is. They all went with the lie, and they all went with the lie. And I think a lot of you would like to say, and you're still saying, and I wish you wouldn't, that these people are stupid, these people are dumb, these people are lazy. They're not. They're not, because frankly, they had the same information I did. They had the same information that you could have gotten. They're liars. They're liars with an agenda. The worst kind of liars. That means that they're willing to lie and manipulate, mislead on purpose. They're the worst kind of, Dante has a special place, a special level of hell for people like that. You know what I'm saying? So X blew up with people. Well, here you go. I see the cover of the New York Times. Israeli strike kills hundreds in hospital, Palestinians say. Right? Wrong. Ilhan Omar, bombing a hospital is among the gravest war crimes. The IDF reportedly blowing up one of the few places the injured and wounded can seek medical treatment and shelter during a war is horrific. Rashida Tlaib, Israel just bombed the Baptist hospital, killing 600 Palestinians, doctors, children, patients, just like that. At POTUS, this is what happens when you refuse to facilitate a ceasefire and help de-escalate. Which means, okay, let's sort of get some terms. De-escalation means that Hamas throws rockets into Israeli neighborhoods, and Israel doesn't respond. That's what they talk about when they talk about de-escalation. You get to send paragliders into a music festival in Israel and murder rape concert goers, and Israel doesn't respond. You get to kill 1,200 people, and Israel doesn't respond. Do you? And Israel doesn't respond. That's what people like Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ivana Presley are calling de-escalation. Hin Mazig tweeted this: "If you called out Israel for the Gaza hospital bombing, I wanted to see the same energy to call out Palestine, the Islamic Jihad, for being the ones who misfired a rocket. The rocket exploded, and a significant portion, the most deadly portion, actually fell on the hospital. It was the worst thing ever. And the most horrible thing is that across the world, well, the most horrible thing after the 500 people died is across the world that Hamas wins the PR battle. You know that because this is how it's been forever in media, that the accusations made on the front page above the fold, and the retraction is back there near the want ads in a section that's 2 inches by 2 inches between the want ads and the obituaries. That's where the retraction is put, because once it's on the headlines above the fold, which means if you go to the CNN page or MSNBC page, and it's the first thing you see, that's kind of above the fold of the newspaper. Guess what? The damage has already been done. That's the whole point. The damage has been done. And they know this. This is why they're not stupid. This is why they're not just lazy. They're liars. They're manipulators. There's a special place in hell for these people. There just is. And the mix of all media, and especially citizen journalism, like what Paul and I do, what Paul does at the Swanson Report, and what we do here together at Fight Back Media, is so important. We are at we're trying to get to 700 subscribers by the end of the month. It would be amazing to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. And I know that I always have big goals. I always have go big or go home goals. But 700 by the end of the month, it's the 19th now. There are 31 days in October. We can get to 700 by the end of the month. And through November and December, get the other 300. That's 150 a month. We have never had 150 subscribers in 1 month in the history of this channel. But you know what? Things are getting to the point where, you're gonna have to really start digging deep and find sources that are going to give you the truth for the truth's sake. Not for an agenda's sake, but for the truth's sake. Let us be one of those people. Let us be one of those sources for you. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be back with more of the morning report right after this.
What's going on, Tampa? Jeff Dow from JD's Pressure Washing here again, and we wanted to share something really cool with you that we're going to be doing that you can be a part of. Tampa is home to 21,000 veterans. We all love our vets, and being one myself, we wanted to find a way that we could give back. So here's what we're going to do. For every 10 jobs that we do that are $300 or more, we're going to do one veteran home for free. Now, when I say home, we're talking house wash, driveway, sidewalks, and perimeter fence if they have one. So I need your help with exposure on this so that we can get the jobs that we need as well as the veteran homes to clean, which is going to be a total surprise for them. We're going to show up, knock on the door, and let them know right then and there in the moment what it is that we're going to be doing for them. It is going to be pretty cool. And here's a bonus offer for all of you who help us with this. We're also going to offer 15% off all cleaning that's over $300 just to say thanks. So if you could do me a huge favor, like, comment, and share this video so that we can get the word out and start cleaning homes of veterans right here in Tampa.
All right. Thanks so much. Listen, please make sure that if you're in the Tampa Bay area, get a hold of Jeff, and he can do some work for you. Like you said, jobs of $300 or more, they'll do one veteran's house for free. And we're gonna have him come by here. And when he comes by here, I've known Jeff for a while. When he comes by here, we're gonna have that conversation again. So you'll hear more. So you'll hear more about it. It'll make a great Christmas gift, and so often when we have older veterans, especially from like the few that are left from World War II, the Korean conflict, Vietnam, and at this point even the Gulf Wars, doing the stuff that needs to be done to the house, like pressure washing the house before you get it painted, that kind of stuff. It's just something that they just can't get to. They just can't get to. And having someone come do it for free is a blessing. So if we can help out in any way possible, frankly, we should. All right. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia sent a letter to the Capitol Police Chief John Thomas Manger, is his name, sorry, Wednesday, calling for the preservation of all surveillance records of the Hamas sympathizers who took over the Cannon Rotunda, demanding a ceasefire. By launching an insurrection in the Capitol complex, these actors caused elevators to be shut down, staircases and hallways to be blocked, exits to be made inaccessible, and official legislative business to be obstructed, putting members of Congress, their staff, and the Capitol visits at risk, Greene wrote. She said that the Committee on the House Administration must investigate the demonstration, reviewing all evidence in the Capitol Police's possession. Greene pointed out that the group behind the protest, Jewish Voice for Peace, is a pro-Islamic, anti-Semitic group that seeks the destruction of the state of Israel, according to the Anti-Defamation League. Another group, If Not Now, was also involved. The insurrectionists involved must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, the Georgia Republican argued. I think she was right, but I think she missed something. I think she missed an opportunity to throw a bone to the J6 protesters that have been in jail, some of them all this time. And I know what she's trying to do. She's trying to compare and contrast. But she's pointing out the double standard that exists. And she should. But if this is the case, I think that she could continue to mention what's actually happening to the J6 protesters. Other GOP lawmakers wondered if Wednesday's insurrectionists will also be given the J6 treatment. Are you going to treat them the same? Are you? Are they? Well, the answer to that question is no, they're not. They're not going to treat them the same. They are not. They are not. They simply aren't going to. And it is frustrating. It's frustrating at the very least that this sort of awfulness continues. Again, we just want you to know. We here at Fight Back Media just want you to know that this kind of stuff goes on. And frankly, we can get our panties all twisted, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to these protesters. And this ought to make you think the next time that you go to a ballot box. Nothing. Nothing is going to happen to them. Nothing is going to happen to them. Zero. Not a thing. I'll show you a couple of small clips of what went on, and then you tell me if the same thing, if what you saw in J6 and this is similar in any way, shape, or form. Write it down in the comments. All right, we got to get out of here and make room for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sake, please, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.